afternoon, folks. I'm down here at the shop and I got a little project I wanted to do. It's very nice out today. Gorgeous spring day. I think it was about 65 degrees. It's overcast. It's just a really nice day. Um, so I thought I'd take a minute and do some of the birdhouses that I like to do every year. Um, if you want to follow along and do one with me, you'll need a few very simple tools. A sanding block or some sandpaper. We're going to scuff up the outside, clean it up a little bit. Pair of garden snips, and that's just to trim down your leader here. You're going to need a rag just to wipe everything down when you're done. Some masking tape or some painter's tape, and a 1 1/4 inch hole saw. That'll get you bluebirds, wrens, small sparrows, things like that. Um, Maybe even if it's a little bit smaller, I guess you may even get chickadees. So I got a pair of pliers that I use to keep this straight. It seems to comes out of alignment every now and again. So, and of course a drill. Your your squash should be at least 6 months old. So these are from the end of 2025, and they sat outside on the ground actually until just the other day when I went and picked them up. But a good way to tell if they're ready or not is knocking on them. But also, if you take it and you pound it, you should be able to hear the seeds. Hear the seeds now? So I'll just go around and pound on the edge, and it loosens up some of those seeds that you want to get out when you cut it open. And it also, that way you know that your bird gourd is in fact ready. I got a whole bunch just off camera here that I can do. Some are drier than others, but if they're green, like I got one here, this one, see how the base is still pretty green. I probably won't do this one. I'll probably leave this one to sit and dry another month or two. But here's a really good one. One of the ways you can tell is one of the ways you can tell is if it's how light it is. It should get real light. Yeah, and I can feel the seeds just shaking around. So, in fact, we're going to use this one instead. It just sounds so much better. So, first thing you want to do is take some sandpaper and just go around, clean off what's left of last year's skin that was growing on the outside of the gourd. So it's just a very thin skin, and it rots and kind of gets moldy and falls off. So we'll go around and scuff up and clean up the whole thing. Now you can paint these. You could spray them with water sealer if you want. Uh, will it prohibit birds? I don't think so. But I think I've had better luck. I've had better luck with the ones that weren't painted or anything like that. So then you just take your rag and clean up what you sanded. I wonder how much of you could you guys actually hear over me sanding. But so we got that all done. So filled the bird feeders up today, and we've had a lot of birds coming through, and I can't seem to remember their names. I was like, geez, why am I so forgetful today? But it's fun. I love seeing all the birds come back through spring. So now what you want to do is you want to just take a moment and find where you want to put the hole, which is best. So this is going to be hanging like this. I don't want the birds to have to come into a hole that is kind of like flying upward and into. I feel that's what this side is. This side over here seems like I can cut a nice hole where they can fly down into it. I think that's better. So I'm going to just take my little hole saw and mark it. Just take the drill bit just and mark where you want to go. Not too deep, you don't want to crack it. Um, this area, make sure you got good and wiped off. We're going to put some tape on it. So let's do that. And what the tape does is it protects the outer shell from cracking. Now, you can still crack it if you're not careful, but if you be careful, take your time, stand a really good chance of not cracking anything. And if you do crack it, you know what? No big deal. Hang it up anyhow, because you may not get the birds you want, but you'll get a critter of some sort that lives in there. Whether it's maybe bees or another small bird or butterflies, I don't know. I think they just look cool hanging no matter what. So, all right. So you want to tape a big enough area that when you drill, you're drilling through all the tape. You're not drilling through just the skin of the plant, of the gourd, rather. If you want to do a couple layers, do a couple layers. It'll just probably make it a better chance of it not cracking on you. So there, just taped it up, and it's a big enough area that when I go to drill, everything is intact. So now comes the moment of truth. It's a good time to shake any seeds free, because once you cut this, the whole thing becomes fragile, of course, and it'll be a little harder to get out the seeds. But okay, so I got my spot. I just want to gingerly take this slow and easy and drill a hole. Try to let you guys see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna just take my time, go real slow. There, right on through. Nice and easy. You just want to take your time because it is a plant. It's fragile. You know, just take your time. And then now you want to come through and try to get out whatever seeds you can get out. Again, take it easy. Don't make sure you leave the tape on. That'll help protect it while you do this part. But don't smack it too hard. Like I said, you'll crack that lip. Now I'll take these seeds and I'll probably just throw them somewhere and we'll see what comes up. fighting with part of the rind on the inside that all the seeds grow off of. It's a very thick piece of the plant. Rather it just break than keep coming out. I'd rather it just break off so I can try a smaller piece somewhere. And what you don't clean out, any birds that go in there will clean out, including the seeds. So, but you want to get out as much as you can. Otherwise, it just may not be appealing to them. Animals have a tough life. So anytime you can make life a little easier for them, they'll choose that route in most cases. Meaning, if you give them two exact same bird gourd nests, one's cleaned out and one's not, they'll choose the one that's cleaned out. It's just less work for them to do. I mean, they work constantly, so anytime they can cut something down, they're not stupid. Wow, we got a lot still coming out. And that's all it is. It's the meaty parts of the inside that have dried up. Almost there. Now you can find online the size holes you're supposed to drill for different birds. I want to attract swallows. That's why I went with the 1 1 1 1/4 inch hole saw, is because that's what swallows like. So, but if you're trying to get, something else, Google, what size what size opening for their birdhouse. Google that, and you should get the size you need to cut your opening to. I think this might be the last big piece I'm pulling out right now. Sounds pretty empty to me. There it is. So now you got it all cleaned out and empty. You could take the tape off. Take your time going over the hole, of course. It's still fragile. And there you go. One birdhouse, birdhouse gourd, birdhouse. So we'll set that one up here. But and that's it. I mean, it would have taken us 5 minutes, and that's with me doing explaining. Let's try to find another good one. I don't know if I got another one that's as dry. This one. So we'll do the same thing. We'll just go over it with our sandpaper, which I lost. Oh, there it is. Knock off some of this skin that's left over. Clean it up a little bit. Seeds sound plenty loose enough. So looking at this one, it's sloped towards me. No, that's sloped towards you. So I think I'll cut it right on that side there. Looks like the best side to me. And I don't think that's science or anything, uh, putting it on the side that slopes up. It just seems to make sense to me for the bird sake of trying to approach it. Um, Although I see swallows approach things from underneath all the time and they land on them. They're amazing acrobats in the air. A couple more pieces of tape here. So I got about a half dozen other ones laying here on the chair that over the next month as they dry out, I'll probably make into either birdhouse gourds, birdhouse is, or I'll carve them into like night lights like I did that other one. That came out really cool. There. It's getting pretty breezy out. So we got the tape where we want it. Pull out the slug from the last hole that we did. Or not. All right, let's try to drill a hole here. Nice and easy, take your time. There we go. That's it. Now I've had pretty bad luck with these, but these two I got lucky, I guess. So I picked the biggest gourds that I could find up there, and I've done that the last few years. And I've gotten some big gourds. This one isn't that big, but look at this one. And it's well, it's the same size, Steve. It is, isn't it? It looks that one looks a hell of a lot bigger. Maybe because it's green and it's heavy. But nonetheless, we got some good sized gourds. And I'll plant all these seeds again. I'll just chuck them somewhere and we'll get a whole mess of new bird gourds. Bird gourds, birdhouse gourds. Really is a tongue twister with everything involved. Just keep shaking and digging. You'll get it all. Just a few more pieces. Yep. There. Just a couple more seeds, and there we go. All right. All done. Nice clean hole. Let's peel off the tape. It came out nice. And they're so light once you empty them out. I mean, they're just, it's so two real nice looking Birdhouse Gourd birdhouses. Just a few minutes time. Now, the best way to dry these, I don't know if it's the quickest, but it's the best way, is to leave them outside. Leave them either right out on a picnic table, which is great, or a bench, something. It doesn't matter if they get rained on and snowed on. That's not an issue. They just need time to dry out with the wind and with the sun cycle. They'll dry out on their own. Um, you don't want to bring them inside because they mold. They get on the outside as that skin breaks down, it becomes this white mold. Here's one I'll show you right there. And you don't want to bring that in the house. So maybe bring it into the garage. Maybe that's about as far as I'd go. But yeah, they take a good 6 months to dry out. And in some cases, like these big ones, it's going to take longer because they sat in deep grass and they stayed wet. They never got a chance to dry out on the bottom. But yeah, I hope you folks enjoyed this one. I love making these and I love putting them up. Um, they're just such a quaint looking little thing to have around the garden. And if you do get the swallows, you get the benefit of all the bugs and stuff that they eat, which is really great. So, but all right, folks, go ahead and make yourself some birdhouses, will you? All right, thanks for watching.